Doo-doo-doo. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Sweet 16, 16, 16. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. It is the big Monday night show. Hope you're doing well. We've been busy here at the channel today. Been getting a lot of work done. Been shoring up some of the Sproles content and getting that put out in one place. And I'm hearing an underlying thought that a lot of people are just completely bothered by, and that is this idea that no one else is talking about this. The citizens of Henry County are completely outraged. We, Kate, Brandon, and I here, and then obviously other channels, seem to be outraged by, a few other channels seem to be outraged by Sproles' behavior. But no one from the mainstream media is talking about this. Channel 13, where are you? Channel 6, where are you? Channel 8, where are you? Fox 59, where are you? Where is literally anybody talking about this? Indiana Public Radio, where are you? WIBC, where are you? Where is literally anybody? Where is the national coverage of this story, of what's going on in Henry County? Now, I want to let everyone know tonight, this is going to be a very Muncie heavy show. We're going to be focusing literally everything on Muncie this evening. It's going to be a Muncie show. We've got a lot to talk about. For those of you that have been interested in the Henry County stuff, this is going to be a kind of in the same vein as the Henry County stuff, that what we're going to be talking about tonight. We're going to be following up some issues within the Muncie City Police Department, where hopefully corruption is being taken care of, and bad officers are getting what should come to them. And we're going to be talking about that. We're also going to be talking about where we are now, a month out from the mass shooting. The investigation we hear is still ongoing. It's very, 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 very quiet. It's a very quiet investigation. We have heard that the city of Muncie has made a second arrest today. Yesterday, they made an arrest.
Not the city.
Second arrest.
The city didn't make an arrest. The police made an arrest.
Well, yeah, right.
I mean, I know Dan will try to claim credit, but
yeah, right.
It was the police.
Right. Yeah. That's what I meant by that. Yeah. So that's where we're going with that. And then also, I again, for the record, I do want to make mention that last night I did say, oh, good, Austin. I'm happy about that. I'm glad that you got that notification. Sometimes it takes doing it a time or two, so I'm glad about that. And then it's important to note that, as I said last night, we will be speaking with the chief, the chief, and let's see here what we've got going on here. Oh man, and the show has began. It's 9:09 and the show just started. Let's see here. The Shirley, Indiana police officer Roger Humphreys will be joining us as a special guest on Sunday, September 3rd, 2023 at 9 a.m. 9 p.m. Excuse me. I hope he won't be joining us at 9 a.m. 9 a.m. I won't be talking with him. I know I would talk with him whenever he wanted to talk. So yeah, 9 p.m. Next Sunday, he'll be here. You should be here. Set your calendars, set your notifications, do what you need to do. Go in and hit the subscribe button if you haven't, and hit that bell. That way you can get notified, because that will be an amazing show. And I have a couple of other people that I am trying to connect with, and talk to about possibly coming on if they are interested, if they're willing, if their legal counsel says that it's okay. That is also connected with this. Good Lord. I think it'd be awesome. Let's see here. If Brian joined him. Oh, that's interesting. So yeah, well, I tell you, I might see if we can make that happen. That is interesting. Maybe it would be like a thing where I could do kind of like a Dr. Phil ordeal, where we might see if we could do like Roger, and then have Brian maybe come on, and then towards the end have them both come on. That would be kind of interesting to see, so they could maybe tell their stories. We'll see. I'll have to see about that. I'll be honest, I was actually kind of shocked that everyone was okay with Humphreys coming on. So we'll see. I'll put out the feeler for that and see what we've got with that. So should be interesting. Should be a good time had by all. So now we need to turn back to my hometown, the city of Muncie. There's quite a few things to talk about that are very important here in the city of Muncie. Some things that have been going on, and see what's going on, and see what goes on. So we will see. I will have to see. Give me 1 second here. Second arrest made in Muncie. Yeah, here we go. So for the today is the 28th. The name of tonight's show is Quiet, Almost Too Quiet. And that's kind of the feeling with where we are with everything that's currently been going on in the city of Muncie. As I've talked about, it's the old adage of the squeaky wheel gets the grease, gets the oil. And so, when there's not a lot going on in a specific area, it doesn't necessarily mean that nothing is going on. It might mean that they're just good at covering the tracks. And so one of the things that has really been interesting to me in these last 25 some days has been following where the administration is, the city administration is, with this mass shooting incident. If you recall, back on the 29th into the 30th, there was a mass shooting in Muncie. All told, 18 people were injured due to the chaos of that evening. 17 people were shot or hit by gunfire. One person lost their life, and another individual was hit by a car in the chaos of everyone trying to get away. Pretty quickly there after the incident, they made an arrest, and the city of Muncie put this out like, this is the arrest, this is the big arrest, this is the guy that did all of this. Now, they didn't say that, but they pumped it out in such a way that people that were, in my opinion, like the low information gatherers, the people that were just hearing bits and pieces, maybe on WLBC or maybe reading a headline in a newspaper, they might have assumed that the man that they arrested was the man that had fired all of the bullets and maybe ran over the person in the car. I don't know. But that is not what happened. The person that was arrested was not charged with murder, and it was a really weird set up for what this gentleman was charged with and everything. And then pretty quick order, they let us know that there was a second person. Now, almost immediately, I started hearing that the main person that they were looking for, unfortunately, was the brother of the deceased man. What a horrible situation to think that there's some sort of fracas that goes on, and then you're involved in shooting and or spraying a crowd with bullets, and in the melee your brother gets killed, and that's just it's a really a terrible thing. But that's why guns and idiots don't mix. I'm a major Second Amendment supporter, and want everyone to have guns and be able to protect themselves, and want everyone to be able to enjoy the Second Amendment. But there has to be a level of responsibility, and people have to be clear-headed when owning and operating a pew pew. So that's kind of what goes on there. So the Star Press newspaper by Doug Marshall, crash and burn, Doug Walker. That's the second or third time I've referred to Doug Marshall. That's crazy. He must be on the brain. Doug Walker, longtime journalist at the Star Press, published the article today at 5:36 on August 28th, and I'll show you that article. Yeah, hold on one second. Popped up. Second arrest made in Muncie block party. Gunfire that left 1 dead, 17 wounded. Muncie police on Monday arrested a second city man in connection with the July 30th shooting spree that saw 18 people hit by gunfire. I don't think that's correct. I think it saw 18 people injured, 17 wounded, 1 person hit with a vehicle. I could be wrong. We'll see. Time will tell. Justin Elliott Bonner, 29, is preliminarily charged with criminal recklessness with a deadly weapon, a level 5 felony carrying up to 6 years in prison, and unlawful possession of a firearm by a serious violent felon, a level 4 felony with a maximum 12-year sentence. Justin Bonner was the brother of Joseph Bonner, a 30-year-old Muncie man who was fatally shot during last month's shooting spree. Let's see here. That's really strange. Enlighten me. I thought that's strange. I thought that you were new here to the program, like at the beginning of the week. I don't know. That's really strange. You strange and strange and strange. Curiouser and curiouser. Interesting. Even more interesting that like specifically knows like familial ties and things. All right. Let's see here. Justin Bonner was the brother of Joseph Bonner, a 30-year-old Muncie man who was fatally shot during last month's shooting spree. In the wake of July 30th shootings, which took place at an early morning block party at Willard and Hackley Streets, Muncie resident John L. Vance Jr., 36, was arrested and charged with 2 counts of aggravated battery, along with unlawful possession of a firearm by a serious violent felon. Vance has received a January 29th trial date in Delaware County Circuit Court 2. Oh my God! This is going to be in Delaware County Circuit Court 2. Oh man, that is Kim Dowling's court. I hate to hear this. Kim Dowling is not, I repeat, Kim Dowling is not a judge that you want someone that must be tried fairly, justly, and if or when the person is convicted, sentenced in a way that is a punishment fitting the crime. Kim Dowling is a very, very weak-minded judge. She is a very let's see here. A very oh no, wow. Look at that. We reached a new achievement. She is a very weak judge. It's the only thing I can say about her. Whenever her time comes to run for re-election, we must run someone against her and we must defeat her. I hate hearing this. I hate hearing this. Can we block this so I can get on with the show?
Really?
Yeah.
As you command.
Okay. Sorry there, folks. Have to sometimes bizarre family drama plays out and it's a horrible thing, but I'm not putting up with the bullshit anymore. So on with the deal here. Witnesses told Muncie Police they saw Bonner and Vance, who was reported to be brandishing a handgun, exchanging blows shortly before the gunshots were heard. 17 other people have survived gunshot wounds suffered at the scene. In addition, a woman was seriously injured when she was struck by a vehicle in the wake of the gunfire. Justin Bonner last November pled guilty to unlawful possession of a firearm by a serious violent felon in Delaware County Circuit Court 1. However, a warrant was issued for his arrest after he failed to show up for a sentencing hearing in February. According to court records, Justin Bonner has also been convicted of carrying a handgun without a license, dealing in a narcotic drug, false informing, and driving while intoxicated. Deputy Police Chief Melissa Criswell said Monday the case is still ongoing. This is still an ongoing investigation. Anyone with information on this incident is asked to call the Muncie Police Department's Detective Division at 765-747-4867 or the Delaware County Dispatch at 765-747-4838. All right there, ladies and gentlemen. So that's the story as ran in the Star Press. And you know, it's basically just reporting what he's hearing from, I'm assuming, a source within the police, probably the charging information. I have not received anything from the prosecutor's office about charging information in this situation. And I have not received anything from the city of Muncie on this. For a while, the city of Muncie, through the communications officer for the city, communications official, Michelle Owens, was releasing information, or at least an email to everyone daily, sometimes a couple times a day. She has let's see here, stopped doing that. It's been probably, let me go back and see if I can find out when the last message she sent was. Update. Okay. So it looks like, wow, it's going to be a while ago. I thought it was even less than that. So Michelle, oh man, Michelle stopped sending out emails on this matter back some time ago, honestly. Okay, yeah, so let's see, regarding victims, all are hospitalized. Okay, let's see here how this goes then. Yeah, so it looks like the last message that anyone received from Michelle, or on this matter, that has been sent from Michelle without requesting anything, has been well, it would have been on the 9th of August. On the 14th of August, I asked Michelle if she could confirm or deny a rumor that I had heard, and she stated that she could not confirm nor deny that. And it is what it is. Is it because they have not given her any information? Yeah, that's the thing. It's not because Michelle's not a bad person. I like Michelle. I do think that she loves her job. I think that she likes to be in the spotlight, and she likes to be known for what she does. There's nothing wrong with that. It is, it's It's perfectly fine to love what you do. I love what I do most nights. And so it is what it is. But yeah, it's very quite possible that she's not received any message from this. So what I think probably will happen here, because keep in mind, we've still not seen anyone charged with murder. 2 people have been arrested in connection with this, but no one has been charged with murder. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. And yes, Yoko, that is exactly correct. Michelle is and has been the best communications director that this administration has had. And that's saying something, because this administration has been through Michelle is the fifth communications director in 4 years. And when she took over, she was like the fifth in 2.5 years, maybe 3 years. So that's that. But yeah. For the record, I do believe that she is, if she's not a completely bought and sold Danatic, she is slowly she's like the rent to own program. I think she might not have bought in right away. She's kind of more like on the rent to own Danatic plan. Yes, Josh Fisher, we are the spotlight. They are the people who like to hide the crumbs over in the corner, and we're the ones that get up and go, Phew, look at this. While we're talking about this, I made a little quick intro for a video that I did today. Tell me what you think of this. That was real quick. I told you it was quick, huh? I'm learning. That's not my area of expertise, so I'm learning. It was 5 seconds. So it's, quick. The 5-second man. I hate hearing myself because in my head I sound great and articulate, but in reality it's like a different pitch and not so articulate. Don't we all? That's horrible, man. I remember the first time I started doing the audio podcast. I like recorded it, and it was so awesome. And then like I waited until it was like up on the Google thing, and I clicked on it, and I was like, oh my God, that's what I really sound like to people? That's horrible. And then one time during a night of far off galaxy searching, I came up with the amazing title or phrase that it's a face for radio and a voice for the silent pictures. Kate says, and this is a big recommendation for everybody out there. Kate says, I sound great at 1.5 speed. So if you wait and do the replay and you kick it up to 1.5 speed, that is if you like Ben Shapiro. She says it's a Ben Shapiro cadence, but you've got to get to the 1.5 speed in order to get that. So, you need to make the spotlight light up corruption. Yeah, what I wanted to do, I was playing around with a couple things where I wanted to get the sound effect of like a light coming on And but it's the noise that I have in my the noise that I have in my head is not the noise that I have in real life. The what I'm hearing is not, it does not match. I would like to have, I was playing around with a couple different things. I was playing around with a spotlight coming on, and it sounds like junk. If you look that up, spotlight sound effect on YouTube, amazingly, they have that. It just didn't sound, I got what they were going for, but it didn't sound like what I thought in my head. And then I was playing with like the sound of a neon light coming on. So I don't know. Yeah, okay, Mama, I definitely understand. I do the same thing. Absolutely. I no offense. I completely get what you're saying there. So I get it 100%. And I am definitely somebody that you need to listen to in quick time. Ain't nobody got time for all that. So, light does not make a noise, Christopher. No, I know, but you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Now, see, now I got to show y'all. Hold on one second. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Spotlight sound effect. Okay. So this was the first thing that I was playing around with. Okay. This noise here. Share this tab. I could use Sproul's woo. The sound of Hiroshima. Yeah, you know what I'm getting at there, Joey. So this is the first thing I was getting at here. All right, I was thought about doing something like this. Okay. Now that was very similar to what I had in my mind, but it just didn't quite play the same way when recording it. And then the next thing I had in my mind was the I can't find the one that I had. Yeah, right here. And you hear this noise. After the dung, then it would do this for a minute. The neon. And then off. But it just didn't play the same way. So, I don't know. They said make your story shorter if you listen to it faster. Okay, I got it. The sound of a big electric breaker. Yeah. Ooh, yeah, that maybe I could look for that. Like listen for an electric break. I need to get like an electric breaker. I'll look that up. That's a good. That's what I'll type, because I was really having a hard time when I was putting this together. I was like, what am I? I'm trying to. I cannot decide what I'm looking for here. And again, comparing myself to the Beatles, as I often do, I feel I'm like, yes, this makes perfect sense. When John Lennon went in to record Tomorrow Never Knows on Revolver, he told them that he wanted it to sound like he was 1,000 monks singing the words from a hill on the other side of the valley. And he's like, that's what I want to sound like. And he told old George Martin, figure out how to do that. We'll be back Sunday night and we'll record it. So what they did was they took apart a Leslie speaker and had the effect go around and recorded all of the passes of the speaker as the Leslie speaker turned, and I don't know that necessarily got the effect of 1,000 monks chanting on a hill across the way, but I very much am that same way. I know what I want in my head, but I have no clue what I'm talking about, so I have to play around. What people don't realize is that's oftentimes what takes me so long to get things done, is I'm looking for perfection here, man. I'm trying to make a day in the life, folks. Leave me alone. All right. So, yeah, that was the end of that story there. It's not the end of the story. It's the end of the story that we have. You can record a Honda generator. That's the end of the story as we have it now. The story continues, and there is more to be discussed here. And I'll be honest, I was kind of hoping that this would be something that the mayoral candidates would discuss. My question is, does anybody know if there are any scheduled candidate meet and greets out there? Has anybody heard of any of these things? Now, we're getting ready to send out our invitations to folks. I'm going to send it out to Dan. I'm going to send it out to Jeff. I'm going to send it out to everybody. And if I get the mayoral candidates here, I will certainly talk about this with them. But my question is anybody else going to do anything like that? So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what they do. The police topic is really big. And that then kicks us into our next topic. And our next topic is something that is very big. It's very concerning, and it's almost I would consider this to be the big topic of the night, because let me get her pulled up here on the screen. I would consider this to be the big topic of the night because of just all of the implications surrounding everything here. So this story dropped today. Only private ones that are open to the public. Last night, I was going to talk about that, and I didn't get there. We will wrap tonight's episode up with that because that's still District 33. Delaware County falls in District 33. That's still local Muncie, Delaware County news. So we'll wrap up with that tonight too. I'm glad you brought that up and reminded me. I didn't get to that last night when I wanted to. So here's the big story for the day that I wanted to cover. Ex-Muncie officer who admitted to excessive force asks for no prison sentence. All right. Now, for those of you that are from Muncie, you all know what this is, and we're going to get into this, but I want to give a little bit of a backstory for those people that are not from Muncie or that might be watching for the first time and have no clue what we're talking about. From 2015 to 2019, there was a federal investigation in the city of Muncie. The FBI had set up shop in our small little Muncie field office, which it was like a broom closet, that brought in more agents, and a federal investigation was ran into the political side of government, the political figures, the business figures that are connected to the political figures. It investigated the Democratic Party and a lot of Democratic officials, and it resulted in a long-term investigation called Operation Public Trust. And I believe a total of 9 people were indicted. 9 people were indicted on this. And up to and including the mayor of the city was unfortunately walked out in handcuffs. And I say unfortunately because that's not something that anybody should want. people should not want their mayor to be walked out in handcuffs. Police officers were involved with that for the political side of their involvement, and their tie into the government of the corruption of government actions. Businessmen, politicos, and like I said, the mayor and the FBI wanted a long time Democrat Party chairman, but in the end, they never got him. So that was kind of an interesting cat and mouse game for such a long time. So that's interesting. However, during that investigation, a separate offshoot investigation started occurring where the Department of Justice was investigating the Muncie Police Department and specific officers for their part in use of force violations, like what we're talking about in Henry County. Okay. Use of force violations and all sorts of other issues related to use of force, lying, changing, obstruction of justice, falsifying police reports, and other things. And so what they ended up doing was they ended up arresting 4 or 5 different officers in connection with this. And this case has played out so slowly. I mean, just continues to just shock the mind how slow this part of the government process is going, and the justice system. It's really shocking, honestly. There were some aspects of this, I would say, all it did was teach that basically crime does pay. And maybe that's for another day. But this is wrapping up, I think, one of the last. There's this guy and another guy, maybe 3, that need to be sentenced. So we'll read this and see. I'm sure this article will let us know. Before we get there, I do want to say thank you, Jackie Fisher, for posting that debate. I will definitely be there. I will cover that, and I'm glad that will be there. So, okay. Let's get to the story. Ex-Muncie officer who admitted to excessive force asks for no prison sentence. Yeah, I would like to not be sentenced to punishment if I did bad and was pled guilty or convicted of guilt. I too would want to be, given the easy way out. Former Muncie police officer Jeremy Gibson is asking a judge to sentence him to home confinement, probation, and community service instead of prison. Gibson's attorney filed a 70-page sentencing memorandum ahead of Gibson's August 30th sentencing. In May 2023, Gibson pled guilty to 2 felony charges connected with excessive force and covering it up, depriving arrestees of their rights, and obstruction of justice for falsifying a report about use of force. He faces up to 30 years in prison and will be sentenced on Wednesday at 9 a.m. According to the sentencing memorandum, Gibson's attorney says the former officer fell prey to a corrupt police department characterized by nepotism, a lack of training, and supervisors who turned a blind eye to unethical behavior. Oh, so much can be said about this. we'll get back to this. Remember this sentence. We'll get back to that. Chase Winkle, son of former police chief Joe Winkle, will also be sentenced on August 30th at 2:30 p.m. Finally, after he was convicted in December for using excessive force on suspects and writing a false report or reports. Here's Chase. Gibson's filing says he has accepted responsibility and cooperated fully, completely, and voluntarily. He was the first indicted defendant in this multi-defendant case to plead guilty and was the impetus behind the government securing 2 more guilty pleas. The sentencing memorandum also includes letters from friends, family, and to Judge Tanya Walton Pratt in support of Gibson and his character. Gibson had nothing to say in May 2022 when WRTV Investigates asked him if he had anything to say. Hey, do you have anything to say? I have nothing to say. Okay, he's got nothing to say on whether he had planned to apologize or not. He is a first-time offender who has led an exemplary life and will be punished severely by his status as a convicted felon, including being stripped of his career that he dreamed of and worked for his entire life, also being stripped of his First Amendment right and the ability to do lots of different things that felons sometimes find themselves not being able to do. Read the sentencing memorandum. I threw some of my own words in there, obviously. I wish they would have included that because that is a big one to a lot of people. 2 other former Muncie officers have been sentenced to prison time. Sergeant Joseph Krasha is currently serving a 19-month sentence at FCI Gilmer, a medium security federal prison in West Virginia with an adjacent minimum security camp. Krasha pled guilty to falsifying a police report. Ex-Muncie officer Dalton Kurtz is serving a 6-month prison sentence. Prison records do not list a location for Kurtz. As a part of his 2022 plea agreement, Gibson agreed to cooperate with federal prosecutors and testify against other police officers in the case who were accused of excessive force or attempting to cover it up. Chase Winkle, Corey Posley, and Sergeant Joseph Krasha. Posley's second trial is scheduled for September 11th after the first one resulted in a mistrial. So Posley is different from everyone else. Posley's actually going to trial. Posley is actually going to trial, okay? And he was, his first trial resulted in a mistrial the first time. Real quick, I want to say, Watasha Barnes Griffin, have you looked at any of my coverage of what's going on in Henry County with the sheriff down there, ma'am? Have you been able to watch any of that or see any of that? If you have, fantastic. If you have not, let me know and I will send you some links. Okay. In fairness, what I'm trying to do, I know, ma'am, that you are definitely an activist for your community, and I know that you are a very outspoken voice. I love the work that you do, and I was talking today to Miss Yvonne Thompson, and I was talking to a couple of other friends of mine, and what I'm finding is this. Literally everybody, sorry, I just happened to see that she jumped on and she commented something. And so I want to tell her this real briefly. What I'm finding is literally everybody that is hearing about this situation with the sheriff down in Henry County is sickened by what they're hearing. What they're seeing on the body camera just pushes it over the line, and his his behavior is just nuts. And so what's happening is everybody in his community is going crazy about this. I'm following it, and the people that are elsewhere are going crazy. But what's happening is there has been very little public outcry from like the media. There's been no media coverage of this. I was hoping that there would be, some media coverage. Not of me. I could care less. I'm talking about what Sproles is doing. Absolutely, Sproles should be taking notes. Sproles, are you listening to what we're talking about here in this Muncie story? Someone should send that all to send all that who wrote report for Sproles and let them know what they could be facing. That's why, Diane Stevens, a lot of people are nervous and around him have got their own attorneys and are doing things. Absolutely. But yeah, I don't understand why there are not, I don't understand why the people from Indianapolis, the news agencies from Indianapolis are not getting involved. I don't understand why state level political figures are not getting involved, because what is happening in Henry County is absolutely horrible. And so I'm just doing whatever I can do to shake the tree, to have all of the dirty, rotten apples out of Sproles' tree fall out, bring out all of the skeletons from the closet, and put them out on the front yard for all to see, because it's bad that he's a police officer and acting the way that he is. But the fact that he is the sheriff of the Henry County and the leader of these people that are supposed to be looking up to him for leadership and guidance is just nuts. And so it's a very scary situation. After the camera footage was out, I was sure the news would pick it up. Still nothing, and it's scary. Mary, I know. Here's the thing that gets me. Travis Week went and watched the film. Nothing. He did a story covering Sproles' ass. Nothing. I go watch it. I'm like, oh, people need to see this. I go down, I pay $60 for the thing. Come out, let people see it. Released it today. I released it today just with no talking. I released it with just the backstory and then showed the video what it is. I'm hoping that will get some traction, because people need to know what's happening. No. Travis did not report the woos and the we'll go for days and days and keep giving me more rounds. We'll do this, whatever. No, Travis did not do any of that. So, okay. Thank you, Watasha. Keep up the good work. Thank you for posting that link. And I saw Kate said that we will get that, so that makes me happy. All right, now seems like the Courier has been covering Sproles since he was elected. Actually, prior to that, and it's insane. I'll tell you exactly why, Cricket. Think about this. Pick up a Courier time and look at how much advertisement that Sproles Funeral Home does in the newspaper, that Sproles Construction does in the newspaper. Look how much advertisement their family business does. Now, listen, I don't like talking about the I don't like talking about families and business and family businesses and private business. And I'm not, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with Sproul's family funeral service. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with the construction company. It is what it is. Sproul's owes Gilman some money for some stuff that he didn't pay for, Yeah, that is what it is. But just the fact that there's so much money that they pay out in advertisement, yeah, they're not going to say anything bad to him. I would like to know how much, how much the Sproul's campaign paid out. Because what I've heard is, and I need to get a copy of Sproul's campaign finance. I've heard that it is a disaster. It's a disaster. Well, for everyone that has sent out emails of the links or whatnot, thank you for doing that. I thank you so much for that. For anyone that is interested in sending out the video of the body cam footage, I want to let everyone know that I did go in and do a specific video just of I just want to let everyone know kind of what happened here. I'll show you this, and then we'll get back to this Muncie story. Okay, so here is the YouTube page. Okay, if you come over here to playlists and you go into the 2023 Henry County, Indiana Sheriff John M. Sproul's playlist, okay, all of these stories on here have to do with John Sproul's and him doing some kind of crazy nonsense, okay? And there are others that I'm going to be adding to this playlist, all right? But I specifically want to point out this video right here. Rookie sheriff turns simple assist motorist into a full-blown investigation with Bilbrey, okay? What this is a body cam. That's the body cam footage. And basically, it is just simply the body cam footage. It's a little bit of an introduction with me, and then it's the body cam footage without any of my commentary. I don't give commentary to it at all. Then next, what the camera doesn't show, follow up Henry County Sheriff Sproul's and the bus incident with Bilbrey. Okay, this is the interview with the bus driver, the CEO of the company, Mr. Roger Winston. Okay, that's this. All right. Henry County, Indiana creates contentious meetings. This is Brandon Rudd breaking down the budget meeting where Sproul's was in there, and he just completely acted like an ass and just was out of his mind in this meeting. All right. Next is reviewing Henry County Sheriff John Sproul's appearance on the Boss Hog of Liberty show. And it was me the day after the bastard clip where we couldn't hear anything. It's the good sound quality of their audio show, and I break down what he says. Then in this 11 was the bad footage and my commentary. 12 is the good body cam footage of the jail shooting, and then the part 2 is the body cam footage of the phone call to the Shirley Town board member, and that's where the town board member says quietly at the end, "He's a racist son of a bitch." And then here is a quick short about the sheriff make a complaint on the black cop from another department. And I that sounds a little harsh. I put it in there like that for a reason. You'll understand why. Episode 13 is Sproul's and the emails that Sproles wrote to that department trying to hurt Officer Roger Humphreys. It's insane. And then body cam of sheriff shooting unarmed inmate. Woo! Will go all day. Is the simple body cam footage with a quick, like, minute and a half breakdown of what goes on. And then it's the body camera footage in total. I am also going to release just a video of the phone call the same way. So all of that will be out there. You can simply share the entire playlist by coming here and clicking on this share button and sending that in an email, and it will send the entire playlist. You can click on the names and send individual playlists, but the news agencies and the politicos at the state government and elsewhere need to be aware of what he did to Mr. Neal in the jail and what he did to that dance company in June on that bus. So that's that. And I just wanted to bring everyone up to speed. It's very gross. It's very gross. And so I just wanted to make sure that I'm not going to stop spreading the word, and I'm going to make sure people are aware. And I hope that the sheriff is listening. I hope the sheriff is listening to this story tonight, and I hope his fellow deputies and corrections officers are listening, because what's going on here with this Muncie story is really scary. Have any of the police officers who witnessed the shooting Sproles and quit their jobs? Yes. Yes. Yeah. No. No. Detective, give me 1 second. I'm going to tell you. Give me a second here and I'll tell you who. Mary, I'm going to attend. I'm going to attend the next commissioners meeting and the next council meetings that will be coming up. And I'm going to do that because stand by. Let me tell you what we got. I'll tell you when the meetings are. Hold on 1 second. Okay. So the next meetings for the Henry County government. What is today? Today's 28th. There is a meeting this Wednesday at 6 p.m. Henry County government at 6 p.m. Why does it say 6 and 10?
It looks like when I was looking at it that there's a joint meeting in the morning of council and commissioners, and then a commissioners regular meeting at 6.
At 6. Okay. So any of those, I would say at the meeting in the morning, it's going to be a work session, so they won't be like talking to citizens. It won't be like a regular meeting. So the meeting on Wednesday the 30th at 6 p.m., that would be a good meeting to go to. And then in September, their meetings are as follows. 1, 2, 3. Their meetings are, the commissioners meet the 2nd and fourth Wednesdays of the month. The second Wednesday, they meet at 10 a.m. The fourth Wednesday, they meet at 6 p.m. on Wednesday. And then the meeting on Thursday that I was talking about, Ryan, was the council meeting, and that's at 4 p.m. So there's a meeting, like, for example, September 13th, Henry County Commissioners meet at 10 a.m. September 27th, Henry County Commissioners meet at 6 p.m. And then September 28th, Henry County Council meets at 4 p.m. So next month, it's the 13th, 27th, and 28th is when they will have meetings. Yeah, Ryan, that's right. The 10 a.m. meeting is just a discussion with Wagner, Irwin, and Shealy associates to discuss the 2024 contracts. So there would be no point to go to that one. But the meeting that would matter is the meeting that's at 6 p.m. I'm going to go, Mary. If you want to go, if you want me to go with you, because I'll be honest, I would not advise. I'll be honest. I would not advise you to go alone. I would not go alone. I think this is something that a lot of people need to go and speak out about. And look, here's the thing. The commissioners can't do a damn thing to him. They can't take him out of office. They can't fire him. They can't sit him down and tell him to be straight. They can't do anything. They cannot do anything. The council cannot do anything. But I'll tell you what they can do. They can talk to him behind the scenes, and they can see that more and more citizens are getting pissed off, and they won't like getting any heat for him. So that can cause that divide there. The council can control his budget. Absolutely, they can control his budget. So they can cut the budget. They can tell him he needs to get in check. They can allocate less money for cars and toys and more for lawsuits and inmate medical. Absolutely. And we can definitely voice our opinions. You know, things they're not going to like, but it is what it is. I would tell everybody, please be respectful to the commissioners. They're in a bad position. They're getting it. They're getting it from him. They don't like him as much as we don't like him. All you got to do is watch the meetings, and you know that. That's all you got to do is watch those meetings, and you know that they don't care for the way that he does business. So, yeah, I would definitely say anyone that can attend next the 30th, that's in 2 days from now, that would be a good meeting to attend. So no Josh Tones. Listen, I'm okay with people being mad and upset. I'm just saying, I'm just saying that we're not fighting the commissioners. The commissioners are not our enemies. So, I'm even going to start. I'm going to start by saying, look, I know you have nothing to do with this. I know that you can't control anything that goes on here. But this is the only point where we, as citizens of America, as citizens of Indiana, as journalists or people, citizens of Henry County, can come and speak on the record about what's going on and have our voices heard and stand up. Because when you've got this man who says he has a mandate to act the way that he acts, He has a mandate because he feels that he received 9,000 votes. Well, I want to remind them that what that means is 40,000 people did not vote for him. You want to hear what a mandate is? A mandate is you're standing in a county, sir, where 40,000 people did not vote for you. So come back to me when, you and a few 9,000 of your friends have more relevance than the 40,000 people that didn't vote for you. That's a mandate. I don't know about Wednesday meeting, but I can make arrangements to be at. Yeah, okay, no problem, Mary. I'm going to Wednesday's meeting. I'm going to Wednesday's meeting. If you want to go to the meetings in September, you let me know. I'll be there with you. I'll absolutely be there. So we'll figure that out. Okay. All right. Back to this Muncie story here. According to the superseding indictment, Gibson's actions include listen to this. Gibson's actions include punching, stomping on, knee striking suspects without justification, which caused injuries to the person. No way. He punched somebody. He stomped on somebody. He performed knee strikes to someone without justification, and that caused injuries? No. In last year's court, in court last year, Gibson admitted to striking Emmanuel Manny Montero with his fist and knee to Montero's head and face. Gibson also admitted in court to writing a false report and stating that Montero did not comply with commands prior to being taken to the ground. Gibson also admitted that he omitted from the report that he used a knee strike to Montero's head. Montero, identified in court documents as EM, says Jeremy Gibson and other officers assaulted him on May 13th, 2018. Montero was pulled over for a missing headlight. Oh, your headlight's out, sir. Can we batter you about the head and face? Montero spoke with RTV6 Investigates in 2021. They told me to step out, and I stepped out, Montero said. They just started pummeling me, pretty much beating me down. He said he kept thinking about wanting to see his family and his son during the incident. I didn't understand why they were doing it, Montero said. I didn't understand what was going on. Montero said he received a $250,000 settlement check after filing a lawsuit against the city, but he says it isn't enough. He wants Gibson and the others indicted officers to be convicted. I was scared. I thought I was going to die, Montero said. I thought they were going to kill me. I'd never been so scared in my life. Gibson resigned from the Muncie Police Department on March 10th, 2022. He had previously been on administrative leave without pay, pending the outcome of the federal criminal case and charges of conduct violations before the Muncie Police Merit Commission. So that's that. Here's some comments. Prison time for what you did. I spent 23 years in law enforcement and despise officers who cross the line. They are the reason that public loses faith in law enforcement. I say punish him to the fullest extent of the law. He betrayed a trust that so many work hard for. In my 23 years, I never, ever crossed that line. I respected everyone and their rights. It makes me sick to see how some officers act. Need to go, do not pass, go, do not collect $200, go directly to jail. Maybe if you see how some of the others live, you will have a little bit more respect for the public and how you treat people. I'm telling you, folks, this is a big deal. So this has been going on. What's interesting to me What's really interesting to me is this line right here. According to a sentencing memorandum, Gibson's attorney says the officer fell prey to a corrupt police department characterized by nepotism, a lack of training, and supervisors who turned a blind eye to unethical practices. Okay? This is very interesting because the question is, what's been done to address those things? What, if anything, has been done to address these issues that this officer said that he fell victim to? Yeah, absolutely. They're excuses. It is what it is. Teach me something, officer, that explains otherwise to me. Now listen, I do believe this excuse. I believe that he did fall prey to corrupt police department characterized by nepotism, yes, a lack of training, yes, and supervisors who turned a blind eye to unethical practices. I do believe that is absolutely an issue that occurred within the department. I believe that it occurred within the department long before these officers were in trouble. And I believe that it played a role in their time. Now, yes, the chief that was involved with this is no longer the chief of the department. Thank God. Thank God. The chief is no longer the chief of the department. But the question is, the new chief, the new deputy chief, the deputy chiefs, do they have the department under control? Do they have training up to snuff the way they said that they would do? Now, I'm not going to badmouth this new chief for the sins of the father, because I am aware that this new chief and his administration that he's built, that the mayor built within the department, I do believe that they have placed an importance on training. I know that they have done that. Okay, check. They've done that. Okay. I knew that they did that. Next, I knew that they I knew that when Sloan was put in office, okay, that people would say, "Oh, he's a Boy Scout. Look at him. He's a Boy Scout. He's going to be great." I don't know that that's true. I'm just going to leave that there. But my concern is that while the chief of police that this occurred under is not there, these officers are not there. there are still a good number of officers who have been in the department for the last 10 years that are there. Now they're going to start aging out soon. Hey, see you, Josh. Thank you very much, sir. You have a good night's sleep. We'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, okay. Let me pause the show, everyone. I see the comment. If you want to stay here this time, not as Enlightenment or Judy or Tara or any of those other people, you're more than welcome to do that. And if we can just focus on the show and not worry about any nonsense or whatever, then we're all good. We're all adults here, and it's just time to move forward. We can do that. Cool. All right. So the issue is, I hope that enough has been done on the department, with the department, to the department, that this is not a thing that can ever happen again. Saying I fell prey to a corrupt. Listen to what he's saying. You know how we always say there are corrupt officers. I don't know that he fell prey. Sounds like a bully found a place to do what he wanted to do without getting in trouble. The problem is, though, no, I hear what you're saying, Diane. The thing is, listen, what he's saying is very, very, very true. Is very true. Okay. It's very true. There were a large amount of Joey, there are a large amount of officers back in the day that fit into this same thing, and a lot of them were in trouble. I'm glad that they were in trouble. They are in trouble, and they are no longer there. I am just hoping that we have systems in place that that we have to put in place so that these situations do not occur again. Because when we have officers who say, I fell prey to a corrupt police department, that's a serious issue. Because what's the word that's always said? Well, there's one bad apple here, there's two bad apples here. One bad apple spoils the whole bunch. One bad cop makes the rest of us look bad. One bad cop, two bad cops, three bad cops is not a corrupt police department. A corrupt police department sounds like a massive organization. So, my whole hope is that mechanisms have been put in place to ensure that this does not happen here. And I would like to hear from the mayoral candidates on this. I would like to hear from the current mayor on this, and I would like to hear from Jeff about this. How many people you think we do human rights first? If they are mandating the blue wall of silence, they are bad. Absolutely, Joe. Yes, they're maintaining the blue wall of silence. Absolutely. Yeah. So this thing here, this line here that he says, I think that's very scary. That's a very scary line. I think MPD, I think all departments should have this put on their wall in great big letters, vinyl letters. You know, an officer fell prey to a corrupt police department. That's nuts. And you know, so many departments have the thin blue line thing on there. They've got the Notre Dame, play like a champion today, and all of that, and they tap it and they hit it when they go out and do all of that stuff. Like, I get it. I understand having those little things that you do or whatever. But I think it would be sobering for them to see this. An officer fell prey to a corrupt police department characterized by nepotism, a lack of training, and supervisors who turned a blind eye to unethical practices. And because of that, he violated citizens' rights. He beat people up, handcuffed citizens. And let's be honest, this Eric, whatever this gentleman's name was, the EM, that's just one person. That doesn't mean that he committed unethical practices, and he admits it was unethical. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So it's just it's very scary. It's very I don't know. Because he's done this more than once. This is just what he got in trouble for. It's like a drunk driver getting arrested. This is the only time I've ever done this. No, this is the only time you've got caught. If you've got caught tonight, you've done this other times. You just got caught tonight. Have we heard any news lately on the Ashley Mullins case or her child? No, we haven't. And I'll be honest. I used to see Don around quite frequently. I would run into him and we would talk places. I haven't even seen Don around lately. I hope he's doing well. I will try to reach out to him and find out how things are going, see where we are there. That's something I've always paid close attention to. I interviewed Don on Perception is Reality, and that was a great show that we did. I would love to have Don on again sometime. But I don't have an update on that, but I will get a hold of him and let you guys know, because that's definitely something that I'm concerned about too. So I don't know. I just think that's thing, and that's something that we always need to be looking for, okay? And it can't be up to the police to police themselves in that. We have to make sure that they aren't turning themselves into a corrupt police department where their other officers who might be good can be taken down too. We want a good, clean, law-abiding police department that respects the rights of the humans that they encounter, the citizens that they encounter. None of us are trash. None of us are deserving of less than what anyone else gets, and so we need to make sure that we are watching them and keeping them accountable as much as they have a job to, serve and protect and yada, yada, yada. Well, it's our jobs to ensure that they're doing what the hell they're supposed to be doing. And it's our jobs to ensure that the mayors, the city councilors, the commissioners, council, the county councils are doing that. And, it's the same police department to small town department to sheriff's department to state police to FBI. They are all public employees. They're all on the public dole, and we are dealing with it. It's us that's footing the bill. So they answer to us. Bet they were going to protect him after they beat the shit out of him. Yeah. We will never get that until cops are required to be attorneys. Shit, I don't know if acquiring them to be attorneys makes them any better. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for us for this evening. It's been quiet, almost too quiet, but that normally means the tide is getting ready to turn and we're going to have some chaos happening. Please, for those of you that are around, if you have the capability to share the show with news organizations or others, please do that. Please like this episode. If you haven't, go in and like the Sproles episodes so that the algorithm picks them up and puts those episodes out for others to see. Go in and watch the shorts. I've created some shorts off of them, and I'm going to continue doing that. Please watch that stuff, share that stuff, and let's get that word out. Let's share it with news organizations, both local and abroad. And then where's that? What's up?
So I was just going to say, I have the banner or the flyer for that mayoral debate, so that people can go to that, and maybe you can get the comment about the Muncie shooting and this with the excessive force and stuff like that. Maybe that would be a time where that could come up. So
yes.
I was going to put that up for you, if that's okay.
Yeah, hold that real quick, because I have people asking about JD, and I about forgot JD again. So give me 1 second, and we will go through this JD, because I do not, JD is of so little consequence to me, and he's such a little weasel that I nearly forgot his little weaselly ass again. Hold on here. I'm glad that you said that, Joan Ashley. So I want to share this just briefly on here. This is from Josh's video. I just want to share this here so people can see what JD did. Okay? This is mind-boggling to me.
Asked him not to leave already, right? Okay. And he's not been out of line, just one. Okay. Josh, this is your warning for trespass.
Okay.
It's also your warning for trespass. You must leave the property or you will be arrested for trespassing.
Open to the public.
Okay. So, Saturday morning, Josh and his daughter, his 15-year-old daughter, planned to go to an open to the public event. And hold on here. Ah, yeah, where's that? Okay, you have them up already? Oh, yes. All right, I want to show you this overlay. You are invited to the 6th annual State Representative J.D. Prescott Picnic, featuring special guests Lieutenant Governor Suzanne Crouch, Smelly Cat, State Treasurer Daniel Elliott, Snooze Fest, State Comptroller Tara Klutz, Secretary of State Diego Morales Go, Attorney General Todd Rokita, State Senator Scott Alexander, the new kid on the block. This year at a new location, 4131 North 100 East, Winchester, Indiana, 47394, Saturday, August 26th, 2023 at 11 a.m. Bring the whole family for an afternoon of fun, food and fun. The event is free of charge, but contributions are appreciated. Sponsorships available. $500 platinum, 250 gold sponsors. If you would like to contribute, please make checks out to J.D. Prescott for State Representative yada, 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 bullcrap, craziness. Paid for by J.D. Prescott is a little bit for State Representative. Okay, so that's one of them. All right, then look at this here. This is amazing to me. This is an invite today at 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Prescott Picnic public event by re-elect J.D. Prescott Representative. Do you see where it says public event? Okay. J.D. and his crew have done this thing here recently where they've started trying to do events in private places, calling them public, but holding them private so that if Joshua Kimbrell, Brandon Rudd, Kristopher Bilbrey, or anyone else that they don't care for shows up, they can say, well, this is a private event. Well, the problem is they did that last February. Brandon and Josh were at an event. They said it was private. They said he couldn't film there. They said he couldn't be there, yada, yada, yada. They called the police. The police talked. The police said, nope, Josh can be here. You've opened this up to the public. It is now a public event, and everything as public goes. All of that goes perfectly. Across the board, right there. It is what it is. Barn Dollar then stayed. He asked questions. It was a good thing. We've talked about that. We've talked about that before. Josh goes to this event. Now, for those of you that have not watched this video, for anyone that's not watched this video, Josh is not the normal Josh that we see. Josh had his daughter here. They go in. They're very respectful. They're just talking. They're not bothering anybody. A couple people are walking up to him. And the very first thing that happens, I mean, like, they are literally in the door. Josh doesn't even have his camera on. And JD's on top of him telling him this.
Your family and friends. Yes, it does. It says it on your Facebook. I got screenshots of it. You open the event.
JD is such a weird creature. He has a look at this. Look what kind of, what is this? What face is that? I would like to just have a one-on-one conversation, no recording. Just, I would like to ask him, what does he think he's accomplishing? What do you think? Who do you think why do you think that you're somebody? You're nobody. You're a half-wit. No one liked you in high school. You got out of high school. You worked at daddy's farm because no one wanted to hire you anyplace. And as soon as you guys could muster the money to pay all the people you needed to pay, you took an easy job and an easy way out for JD, and you're doing the bare minimum. This is basically a non-existent life you're living here, bro.
your family and friends. Yes, it does. It says it on your
It
Facebook.
doesn't. It does not say that this is public. It does not say bring family and friends. It does. No, it does not. It might say that, but it does not say bring Josh.
I got screenshots of it.
All right.
You open the event to the public.
He hides away in the back room.
Like, damn, like, what was that? How many minutes? Like, less than 2 minutes?
And he goes back in the back room to call like the police or something. Now, notice that this video is 30 minutes long. We're not watching all of it. I'm just going to hit the highlights.
Less than 2 minutes. And now it's a private fundraiser.
Okay, here comes JD's mom.
So, huh?
Are you Josh? This is private property.
I know it's private property, but you guys opened it to the public.
This is a campaign event, and so
Open to the public. The campaign says, I already talked to JD. I just talked to him.
I'll call the state police. I've already got it.
Call the state police.
I'll call the state police. Why? Who are you? Who are you? You'll call the state police? You have a line to the state police? No, that's not how it works. You call the county cops. It doesn't matter that your son is back in the back room with diapers on, calling whoever Todd Rokita, will you come out? She later on says, I've already talked to the attorney general. Well, guess what? He's an idiot too. So what does that matter?
You guys put a flyer out that says it's open to the public. Bring your family and friends.
They don't care about the truth. They do not care about the truth.
Would you like to see the thing?
I
have it.
Josh, can we go outside for just a second, please?
No, thank you.
I mean, I can show you this real quick if you want to see. JD's already calling. So look, here's your event. Here's the thing. Bring the whole family for fun in the afternoon and everything.
Campaign event.
Open to the public.
It's a campaign event. He's running for re-election. Josh is a voter.
Opened it to the public.
You guys have bashed me.
Huh? I have what?
You guys have bashed me on Facebook.
Who's you guys?
Now she says, you guys have bashed me. You guys have bashed me on Facebook. Well, let me be clear. I don't know who Josh is asking her who you guys are. Let's give her a second here. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt.
I've only seen you one time. JD's already calling.
And she walks off. I don't know what she's talking about. You guys have bashed me on Facebook. We talked about her. We talked about her in relation to the hotel that was rude to veterans. And I talked about what a worthless piece of boop she was then, and I'm still going to talk about that. That's got nothing to do with anything other than her just being a horrible business owner. Okay? Got no problem with that. But she's married to a man that was an elected official for multiple terms. She's the mother of a man that is a state representative. She's heavily involved with politics. These aren't the same people that I just don't pay any attention to. These are politicos, folks. These are, oh yes, Ryan. She was very rude to veterans. There was a veteran there with a service dog, and she was extremely rude to him. Told him he didn't need the service dog. They weren't going to let him stay where they wanted to. Dog wasn't welcome in the hotel, and he didn't look like he had a disability or whatever. She was demanding to know like what kind of disability he had. Absolutely. The whole Prescott family is extremely rude to veterans and have no idea. Honestly, they have no idea what it means to be Americans. They think that they are this prototypical, amazing, God-fearing, a loving American family, and they don't know anything about any of that shit. They don't know anything about it. Just honestly, it's really, really, really gross. So, listen, to me, ma'am, you're safe to bash. You're a politico. You're not a private citizen. You're not just a private nobody.
Don't forget, JD was the sole dissenting vote on giving a property tax break to disabled veterans.
Absolutely. The sole dissenting vote, Ryan. The sole dissenting vote on that. So yeah, keep that in mind. Okay. Yes, it is illegal. Here we go.
God. Can somebody send me the flyer or a picture of JD's event real quick so I can show it to the state police?
Now, who's this?
Why'd you guys put on Facebook this was open to the public then? I'm a little confused.
What is that? Wait a minute. Is that like a JD clone? Is that like a JD clone? Watch what goes on with this guy. He looks like JD kinda, but he looks like in Multiplicity, he looks like the copy of the copy of the copy of the copy. And so doesn't look exactly what's going on here. Look, watch this.
Real quick so I can show it to the state police. Why'd you guys put on Facebook this was open to the public then? I'm a little confused. I'm a little confused.
Stunt double. Yeah, that's apparently hit his head a couple times. No, that thing looks okay. Here's the dad.
I'm asking you to leave. This is my property.
I know it is.
Yep.
You guys opened it to the public.
No, it's private property. I can ask
The
anybody to leave.
the flyer says open to the public. Bring it. Don't.
Now here's Jay. Now
Listen.
JD is touching his.
Listen, you are government. It's a First
This
Amendment
is
right
not
to
government
record.
property.
I know.
This is my property.
JD, explain to him about the Farm Bureau. Farm Bureau.
So
Private
this
property.
is my property. You're being
Okay.
asked to leave.
Farm Bureau, private property, correct? Correct?
I don't know. This is private.
I'm
property.
asking-
Farm Bureau is a business.
But it's private property. Privately
My
owned,
own
right?
property.
They
I'm
opened
asking-
it.
what do
They
you wanna
opened
do
it.
this for? What do you?
What do you
All
mean?
you do, I've
Why
seen
do I
your,
want?
I've seen your stuff you've done. and
Do
you've
I
got
edit
nothing
it?
but a bad reputation.
Do I edit
You've
it?
got nothing
I'm
but a
asking
bad
you to
reputation.
leave.
Why? You
Because-
opened this to the public. It's a public event. You guys opened it to
Your
the public.
reputation precedes
So
you.
what? So my reputation for what? Recording and showing transparency?
You're being asked to leave.
Honestly, I think JD is a clone of this guy. They're all just one clone of the next. This is JD Prescott. It's just the old version.
Right way.
Okay.
You're being-
This is it. I've just solved the mystery. No, this is not another son. This is the dad. This is his dad. But I've solved the mystery here. So Troy is who we're looking at here, and he was an elected official. So I'm not beating up on just a private nobody. He was an elected nobody. Okay. Here's the deal. This is Troy. Troy needed to figure out a way to go on indefinitely doing craziness. So he cloned himself, and JD is the version of that. And that's why he's just a little off. And then that other guy was a clone of a clone of the clone. And now that's why that was even more off. So let's listen to this little display here.
You show politeness like you don't show other people.
Like I don't. Am I getting
You are
hostile?
rude
Am I getting
in the
rude?
past? You haven't been rude and obnoxious to me right now at all.
So
And
why?
I'm being
why?
very
Why do
polite
the
and
past?
asking you to leave.
So
So
open
the,
this event to the public.
the sheriff will come and
Okay.
remove you.
No, the sheriff came to the Farm Bureau and told them the same thing. You open the event to the public. In essence, this is a public venue. When you do
This
that,
is ridiculous.
don't open it to the public then. It's all you had to do was make it private. Instead, you guys put the flyer out there and said, bring your family, bring your kids. I brought my kid. She wants to see government.
So you're proud of your dad and the way he does all these things?
All right, right here. I'm amazed that Joshua did okay here. Because this is the point where I would have lost it. we've got a grown-ass man that is a state representative that his parents come to his rescue and they won't let Josh talk to him. But yet this man feels it's okay to talk to this minor daughter of Josh. I would have lost it, but Josh doesn't. Josh kept cool on this one, so hats off to Josh.
Go put her on the camera, Josh. I want to see if she's proud of you and the things that he does.
I've been in multiple videos. He's recording everything he said. But this is private property.
I know it was private property.
I've already called and they're coming to take care of it.
This is private property. He's recording. Like, does Troy not realize that Josh is recording? Like, what's the deal? He doesn't realize that? He needed Cheryl to tell him that? Are they a clone of each other? I'm confused. Why does everybody here look like everybody here?
They're going to come. They're going to say, did you open this to the public? And I'm going to show them the Facebook post that says, open to the public event. Bring your family, bring your kids. And then you know what?
Hey, you ever seen
it's still private property, but when you open it to public for a public event.
But have you ever seen like the Trump rallies?
The what?
They kick people out? The Trump rallies?
Trump rallies, yeah.
Yep. Those are public events. But if you
not always, and they're always to the capacity. And to get kicked out of a public event, you have to cause a disturbance. Speech and constitutionally protected activities are not deemed a disturbance. Now, if I stood up here and swing off the rafters and was screaming, that would be a disturbance. Just me engaging in my First Amendment constitutionally protected activity as the freedom of press to take a public event with a state representative running for office and post it to the internet is crazy. Now, you know how this would have turned out? Let's hypothetically here, right? Hypothetically, you guys never said nothing.
All right, watch this. She comes over and says, can you come here for a second? Because she wants to get Troy away from Josh. But then she proceeds to start talking to Josh. And it's like, what? Is Troy not capable enough? And what's interesting is Troy and Josh were having a decent conversation. They weren't being disrespectful to one another. It was like, okay.
But hypothetically,
he proceeds to then come over here and run her mouth. And it's like, what?
You guys said nothing.
Personal property, and you
but you opened it to the public. You opened it to the public. Sure. That's a mistake you guys made. You opened it to the public.
It's so sick watching these people.
JD, can I ask you a quick question?
No, he said he didn't want to talk to you.
Okay. That's your state representative, JD Prescott, Indiana. And he's having Todd Rokita here, the Attorney General.
Rokita. All right. So then Josh films a bunch of people.
Let's make maybe one comment.
They do the prayer. There's Diego Morales. All right. Then the police come. The guy carrying around the camera walks up to Josh and has a good conversation with him. Everything's good. Here's Susan Crouch.
Oh, and it's Jordan. Oh, Jordan and Mullins. They wasted your time again, Jordan?
It's private property.
It's private property, but just like
you can't be here.
Just like the Farm Bureau, it was a private property. I already decided this. I don't care what they say. They posted it on Facebook, open to the public. They done in essence turn this private property into a public event. Yeah, I got the screenshots of it all.
Okay.
What?
They invited you to come out, bring your whole family and everything. So just like the Farm Bureau, when they open a public or private venue, and they host a public event and invite the public out, it becomes public property. There's one.
I don't necessarily agree with what Josh said there. This doesn't doesn't turn private property is private property. It doesn't ever turn into public property. It's just the fact that the issue of who can do what at certain places. There's a gray line here. The issue is this police department has already answered this question once. When they did this same thing at the Farm Bureau, they said Josh and Brandon were free to stay and film and record. Okay. But because all the big wigs were there, I believe the sheriff didn't want to piss anybody off. And I think the sheriff made the wrong call here. And I'll tell him I think he made the wrong call. I think Art made the wrong call here. The other thing here, and Josh does a good job of explaining it, is he tells Troy, he says, you know, if you guys would have just left me alone, this would have been a video that 600 people watched. But because JD comes up and puts his hand on my camera, and because you guys do all this, it's going to be a big video. Are you there, Kate? I thought I heard you.
I was just going to say that he was being really calm. I think that he should have gone and talked to Morales and Crouch and Rakita.
That's what I wish he would have done.
And gone and talked to them and gotten in good with them. So when the police showed up, he'd be like, well, I'm just here filming these guys and they're campaigning too. Wouldn't they want what the public has to hear and let them know what was going on in a roundabout way so that they might have spoken up on his behalf?
Yeah, that's exactly. If I was,
I think it was a missed opportunity.
And I'm not dogging Josh. You know, Josh did a good job. He was very calm. If I was Josh, I would have walked up to Diego and said, hey, how are you doing? I would have got film of him. I would have walked up to Suzanne Crouch. I would have walked up to Todd Rokita. As far as I'm concerned, Josh has some questions for Rokita. I've got some questions for Rokita. I think this would have been a great opportunity to get some questions out. Maybe what he could have done is he could have walked up, been all right with Diego, been all right with Crouch, and knowing if he was maybe going to leave, he could have asked Rokita, hey, you know, what went on with that phone call to the judge, yada yada yada. You know, that might have been something interesting. So, you know, but Josh, besides that little you know thing for the future, you know, he did a great job here. He was calm, and it made it hard. All right, so then they do this weird
public. They even
weird
put
shit.
the flyer up there. It says open to the public. I got a picture of. They done turned this and just like I was trying to explain to them when they did it at the.
So you're welcome to come out.
They're claiming it.
And then Troy and Josh sit here and have a bizarre conversation.
They host it. It's a public event.
Okay.
It's open to the public.
It's an event on private property.
It's a public event.
It's a public event on private property. Now, when you do that and you take private property and you host an event like this and you invite the public out, it becomes a public venue. Just for that time. So from 11 till whenever the event ends, it becomes, in essence, private property or public property. Now, like I was telling you earlier, if I was swinging from the rafters, causing a disturbance, out here cussing and trying to get in people's face, being loud and obnoxious, any type of crime, you then can ask me to leave. Just like any other private or public property. If I'm on the sidewalk screaming, acting a fool.
We're talking with him, yeah.
Good.
He said he talked with Art about something, so
I
we'll
didn't.
clear that up
Barn
for him.
Dollar talked to him.
Barn Dollar did.
Barn Dollar did.
I called the attorney before this.
Yeah.
And they said that
Yeah.
because I was already told that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
Josh, can we go over here where he's talking and then just back to Jamie's vehicle?
What did the mom say?
Yeah.
Because I was already told that.
Walk screaming, acting a fool.
We're talking with him, yeah.
Good.
He said he talked with Art about something, so
I
we'll
didn't.
clear that up
Barn
for him.
Dollar talked to him.
Barn Dollar did.
Barn Dollar did.
I called the attorney before this.
Yeah.
All right, that's where she says, I talked to the attorney general. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Because I was already told that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
Josh, can we go over here where he's talking and then
I would have probably said
back
no.
to
I would have said, am I detained?
Fine.
And if I'm detained, I'll go with you.
And just for the
If
record,
I'm
I haven't
detained,
refused
I'm
to
not
leave.
going with you.
I just keep asking, but you open this to the public.
Yeah.
So they go over here. They have
Property.
this.
So everything that governs public property.
They have this discussion.
That's my take on it. Like I said, we're going.
Because the same thing that makes them legit via the federal law, 5 U.S. because they have
I guess
a
there's
tax ID number.
They-
What makes them legitimate?
Well,
Josh,
Take
and
on it.
here's this.
Like I said, we're going to check with Art. Just, if there's
and
some obscure
the
law that
difference
we haven't
there
dealt with.
also is the News Gazette's a legitimate news outlet.
What makes them legitimate?
Well,
There is no credentials because they have
I guess
a
there's
tax ID number. Because the same thing that makes them legit via the federal law, 5 USC 552 says anybody who takes raw footage of public interest and disseminates it, makes it into their own, is in essence a member of the press, member of the media. So according to federal law, I take a public event that people of the public have an interest in, I create it into something unique and different, and I distribute it to them. Either I take publications, subscriptions, or I do it for free. In essence, I am news, according to federal law.
I guess my thing is with you guys is you probably knew this was going to happen.
No.
He keeps saying you guys. I mean, Josh and his daughter.
Let me be honest. I was hoping it wouldn't. Now, say nobody came up
But
to
you
me.
had a pretty good idea.
Well, yeah, because it's always like this, and I don't understand why. So say nobody
It's
said.
called the reputation.
So say nobody says nothing, and I walked in there and I stood in the corner and I recorded this whole
It's
event,
the reputation.
just like I did
it's
at
the reputation. It's I ask a question, okay, and look, I get, and Josh and I have different ways of doing stuff, and I get it. But I don't like what Troy said here, because the thing is, let me tell you the thing that gets me, and here's what pisses me off. If I yes, Judy's back. If I would have oh God. If I would have went here, I would have been treated the exact same way. And I don't do anything, you know what I mean? There would have been no reason for them to treat me that way. So if I would have been here, they would have called the police and wanted to have me kicked out, And, I've not yelled or screamed or cussed and, all that. So it's not about that. It's about the fact that they don't like transparency. That's what the issue is. The News Gazette doesn't ask them hard questions.
4-H fairgrounds. I just stood there and recorded this whole event. Green, like literally, I'm actually running for office.
Yeah, we'll see how many votes you get. This will be good.
We'll see.
And that's the problem. I think Chloe, your buddy, didn't he get like 5% of the vote or something up there
For what?
when he ran for school board?
I don't know.
There's where he brings Brandon up in that crap he did the other day. The Prescotts are so obsessed with Brandon Clower and the Clower crew, which is a really weird way to spell Rudd. I don't get it, but I don't know what the deal is with that. It's Rudd, brother. It's Rudd. Silly man. Anyways, what he doesn't understand is he just showed us that really strange obsession with Brandon.
What? Give me a good guesstimation. Without a bet, we'll just have.
So they have this talk.
Why does it mean I'm going to lose? If
there's
all
700
Sheriff can, if he knows of something that's not.
So Josh then says, "Am I being detained? If not, I'm going to go back and enjoy the party." So Josh walks back in, walks into the place, records. He's not in there yelling, not in there screaming. Nothing crazy's happening.
One of the two. Talking to Jay.
And here comes
You talk to Art?
Same response. It's private property. You have to leave, otherwise you will take it to jail for trespassing.
Who's saying that?
Art and our legal counsel.
Art and your legal counsel are saying an event open. I just want to be clarified.
Yeah.
An event that's open to the public, even though it's on private property.
He grabbed it.
What's that?
I'm going to have JD come over too.
Okay.
I
I
want to
just
clarify everything that's
because you know you're wrong, right?
I believe I'm correct.
I know you're not.
Check with counsel, his legal counsel. That's
Okay.
That's our
Basically, now we have a situation where this department is acting in two different ways with the exact same information. This department, the Randolph County Sheriff's Department, is called to a private property and told that Josh Kimbrell is not wanted there with a camera. And they tell Josh Kimbrell and the people at the private property in February, he's allowed to be here. This is a public event. He's allowed to be here. And they do that. Now, this day, the exact same thing happens and they act a different way. Now we've got a problem.
So
you do not want Josh here, correct?
That is correct.
Or his daughter.
That is correct.
Okay.
oh, even my daughter?
Now you have asked him not to leave already, right? Okay.
Why? Why do they not want JD?
He's not been out of line. Just one. Okay.
Why
Josh,
does JD not
this is
want
your
Josh
warning
here?
for trespass.
Okay.
It's also your warning for trespass. You must leave the property or you will be arrested for trespassing.
Okay.
Okay?
Glad I got that on camera. That's Representative J.D. Prescott right there.
Look at him.
All right.
Look at him.
We'll go.
I appreciate it.
Hey, no problem.
JD feels like he just won like the Super Bowl. He's like, I've defeated Kimbrell. And then him and all the clones get together and they rub their noses together here in a minute. It's real weird.
Thank you.
I mean,
Thank
it's a
you.
fool.
Okay. Then we have this walkout. Just very strange, folks. Very strange. That's your elected official in District 33. It's very sad. Clones unite. I don't know. Horrible, ridiculous, complete bullshit. JD is disgusting. He shouldn't be in office. And that is the postscript. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. See you tomorrow. Like, share, subscribe, hit the bell, share this episode before you leave, and we will see you next time. Get off there! Ha 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 ha!